It's time for the Las Vegas Sportsline. Brought to you by the Golden Nugget with sports director Tony Miller.
Money won is twice as sweet as money earned.
Presented by WagerTalk.com.
All right, here we go. It's the Friday edition of the Las Vegas Sportsline. Happy to have you with us. I'm Dave Cokin. Teddy covers us here. Later in the show, Kelly Stewart will join us. And before that, we will talk with Aaron Kesler. He'll be coming to us live from the Golden Nugget. Go behind the counter on this weekend's Army-Navy rivalry matchup, plus the NFL schedule. Teddy, last night, the Golden Knights make it 7 wins in their last 8 games. And the nice part about this win was this was one of those tricky spots because they were coming off an emotionally charged win against the Washington Capitals, facing arguably the worst team in the NHL. In the Blackhawks, a dangerous flat spot. And it wasn't their best game, but they found a way to win it.
Sure, and game goes over the total again. You know, nights and over. The bookmakers can't like the feel of this right now.
They got one break last night. The empty net shot at the end of the game hit the goalpost.
Sure. No
that
puck line.
That was a big swing on the puck line.
I'll bet it was. I bet it was a 6-figure swing around town, or close to it. But, I mean, it's good to see and it's fun to see, Dave, because, I didn't know this was going to happen, and now all of a sudden we're Knights fans again. Yeah,
and they're rolling, and no coincidence. We've mentioned this before, but Schmitty back on the ice has made a world of difference for this team. It's just strengthened the entire squad, and hopefully they can continue this recent surge. They're back over 500, looking better, and getting very much back into the thick of the playoff chase in the NHL's Western Conference.
Yeah, and this town is such a front-runner town, which is fine. It's who we are.
Most towns are these days.
Exactly, and the bottom line is we like winners here in Las Vegas, and now the Knights are starting to win. All of a sudden, the interest level has notably perked up.
Boy.
And I'm sure the volume at the books is perked up as well.
Yeah, they're sure not the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, look, last night's game was literally decided on 2 plays. Consecutive plays.
I'm not convinced the outcome would have been different. I think it just might have taken longer to happen.
Possibly,
yeah.
But, it's one thing to go from being ahead in the game. They would have been assuming an extra point. There would have been 9-7, maybe 8-7, or maybe 10-7. They might have gone for 2 in that spot. And instead they're down 16-2. Or 13-2, I beg your pardon. It was, for a fragile team at this point, which Jacksonville is, that was a sequence that was going to do them in. They had a first and goal at the 3-yard line, could not punch it in, ran an awful play on 4th and goal.
They had first and goal at the 7, and then got a penalty to get another first and goal at the 3.
Yep.
And didn't punch it in. I think they had 7 opportunities.
Yep. And the 4th down play was like, what in the blank are you doing? They ran.
I understood exactly what they were doing.
The worst possible play, which was to run left where Eric Flowers is. And Eric Flowers stinks, okay? He's the worst offensive tackle in the league. He is the worst starting offensive tackle in the NFL. The play had no chance. You got to go in the other direction, where they had just made a first down on a 4th down prior to that.
I don't disagree with the concept of going in the other direction, but there was no question that with this is second game as offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
That he's getting the ball in Leonard Fournette's hands.
Fine.
And however,
have him run right. Okay. You don't run behind Eric Flowers. Eric Flowers can't play. Okay, he's
nobody on the Jags offensive line can play.
No, but he's a complete bust as a first-round pick from a few years ago. Ended up in Jacksonville after
it was in Kansas City, right?
Kansas City, wherever he was. He's awful. Anyway, after that, the 99-yard touchdown run on the next play, game, set, match. And boy, did they quit in that football game. I know you can argue, well, they only lost the second half by a half point, but they completely quit.
Yeah, that was one, where I had a play on Tennessee last night, and I never turn off the TV. I turned it off. I turned on something else. That game was over.
Well, I had a bet on Jacksonville, and I turned it off as well. And decided I'll watch the Golden Knights.
Though at 30-2, then I saw it was 30-9, and I clicked back on. I'm like, oh man, They had a chance to make it 30-16, but failed on another 4th and goal.
and that was the end of that. And terrible performance by the Jaguars.
The road teams can't play on Thursday night.
I
mean, the NFL, they'll never accept it. It's worth too much money, but the Thursday night product is an inferior product, and as bettors, we should be taking advantage of the fact that you can't back road teams on Thursday night in the NFL.
Seriously inferior product last night, because it's not like the winners were any good either. they're not good. Okay, that's a phony 7-6 if you ever want to see one.
Well, defensively the Titans can play.
Not bad.
They're
defensively
above
they're
average,
acceptable,
yeah.
but offensively, Derrick Henry had a freak night, but
a lot of that was Jacksonville not caring, and Marcus Mariota continues to be a quarterback that you're like, no, do I trust this guy? No.
Yeah. He's better than the former Jacksonville starting quarterback.
Bortles.
I don't know if Bortles could still start for UCF where he played his college football. Wow, is that guy regressed?
Well, Milton's hurt.
Yes, that's true, but the other kid looked good last week. All right, what do you say we turn ahead the clocks to this evening, and we will start previewing games. We do that every day with the M.J. Christensen 4 at 4.
1, 2, 3 into the 4.
Put the fours up. Put the fours up, I said. Do it right now.
Tonight's action is just around the bend, and the guys want to get your night off to a great start.
4.
It's the Las Vegas Sportsline's 4 at 4.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Unbelievable.
The pre-owned Rolex watch. The perfect gift for him or her. The one that has been on the holiday list for years. Boy, I'd really like to have a Rolex. And it's a lot of money. But the pre-owned Rolexes are pretty reasonable. They come with total certification, so you know you're not getting something that's a Rolex or something like that. Okay, it's actually a Rolex. It's got the papers. Got the warranties. Got the box, the original box. These are all at MJ Christensen. Go look at them. And find the one you really think the significant other in your life would appreciate. This is not a gift you give to someone you just started dating, okay? That would not be a good idea. But if it's the real deal, seal it with a Rolex at MJ Christensen. They're located in Boca Park. That's their one location. Check them out at mjchristensen.com or on their Facebook page, MJ Christensen Diamonds. All right, so we go to the 76ers and the Pistons. Why are we doing this game? Well, because it's one of the national TV games tonight, which means you're going to get some betting volume, especially on a Friday night when there's not a lot going on.
Sure, and look, this is a matchup of two playoff teams in the East.
Yeah.
Philly got shot down pretty good the other night in Toronto.
Bit of a reality check there.
Yeah, where the Sixers were, feeling pretty good about themselves going into that game, feeling pretty confident, and a little fourth quarter run turned a tie game into a 11-point loss, and now they're back on the highway in Detroit tonight. They're playing without Joel Embiid, who is sitting. That resulted in a change of favorites in this ball game.
Yes, Embiid getting a night off, and he's going to be. What do you figure he impacts the line? Maybe 3?
About 3 points is what the market has says for today. But the Pistons had been, everything was fine and dandy. Detroit was rolling along at home. They'd beaten Golden State. They'd beaten, mostly, Houston. I don't know if Houston's any good.
Well, they still have the name appeal.
Sure, exactly. So, they'd had a really good homestand and won 5 in a row, and then all of a sudden, the finale of the homestand against OKC, they were out of that game, and they followed it up by an equally dismal showing against the Bucks 2 nights later. So, it's not only is it a dicey situation for Philly tonight without Embiid and a Sixers team that has been covering on the road, it's also a Pistons team that may well be in circle the wagons mode at home.
You mentioned the Bucks. They're at home tonight, and this is the marquee matchup in the NBA. Our marquee matchup, by the way, will be Army-Navy, the greatest rivalry in sports. It is better than Red Sox-Yankees. It really is. Army-Navy's awesome. But they only play once a year.
Did you read the Feinstein book?
Yes. Fantastic book.
Yeah, it's a really
fantastic
good book.
I read that several years ago. Warriors and Bucks tonight. Their second meeting of the season. They met in Oakland earlier, and that game got a lot of hype. It was exciting, and this one should as well.
Yeah, sure. The one that got a lot of hype, of course, Milwaukee 134.
Yes.
Golden State 111. I'm certain the Warriors remember.
I think you might be right. Did Curry miss that game?
There were issues for Golden State, and there's still issues for Golden State, but they've certainly played much better basketball the last week or so, and Curry back in the lineup.
Oh boy, just makes it. He's just a tremendous difference maker.
No, Curry played in the first meeting.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, but they didn't have Green in the first meeting, and they're not going to have him
he's still not
tonight
ready.
either.
Still not ready. His toe is still. He's rehabbing the toe. I don't know how you rehab a toe, by the way.
You let it rest.
I guess that's it.
And you put it in the whirlpool, maybe?
You don't lift weights with the toe. Little tiny weights tied onto the toe.
They got a physical therapist on it, It's stretching it this way.
Well,
way.
Listen, if he was using Lions physical therapy, he'd probably be back on the floor already. That's my opinion. Could be wrong. Should be fun tonight. UMass and Providence, old rivalry in New England. Friars a pretty good-sized favorite at home. They're not a team I feel real comfortable laying points with right now. Ed Cooley's going to get the max out of the team. David Duke, yes, that's his name. David Duke is their freshman point guard. He's a local kid, by the way, who decided to stay home. He's going to be an asset in time for the Friars, but he is going through some growing pains at the point. A little turnover heavy at times. I suspect UMass might give him a game tonight. I think it's closer than the line indicates, but I do think Providence wins, which makes it a real tough bet because you're probably splitting hairs if you want to get paid in this one.
I mean, UMass continues to cash over tickets, just like last year. This is for whatever reason, the markets just have not caught up with their pace and their level of offensive execution. And, they're shooting three-pointers at a 38%, 38.5% clip on the season. Providence, we like their defense.
Oh, that's, Ed Cooley's teams always play defense.
Yeah, it's one of the many reasons, that we I the utmost of respect for Ed Cooley, but over here might be worth a look, even though I do like the way the Friars play on that other end of the basket.
Friars will get better as the season progresses. I don't know if this team can get better as the season progresses, but fans of the Wolfpack in Reno will be happy if they simply maintain their current level of play. Nevada has been absolutely fantastic out of the gate, and they've got big fish to fry tonight because they're on the road playing. Actually, this is a neutral court game. No, wait a minute. I don't have my schedule in front of me. Is it the tournament matchup?
I will give you one moment
to check because there's a tournament in L.A. tonight.
Yeah, it's at Staples.
Okay, it is at Staples. That's what I thought. It's Arizona State, so this is a game Nevada's they have this one circled. This is one of their statement games. They have done extremely well in their statement games so far this season. The Loyola Chicago game on the road just crushed the Ramblers wire to wire. The USC game struggled a bit in the first half and then just said, get the blank out of here to USC in the second half. I think they're better than Arizona State at this point. So do the odds makers. That's what makes this game tough. I think there's no secrets to be had on UNR at this point. Everybody knows how good they are, and you are now, believe it or not, even though it's a Big West or Mountain West team against the Pac-12 team, you're actually having to pay a premium if you want to bet the Mountain West side tonight.
A top 20 Pac-12 team that you're betting against. All that being said, I'm not betting against the Wolfpack.
Neither am I.
I'm not convinced that for as much respect as they're getting, they're winning by margin every game. They've not covered. There was one game all year they didn't cover.
They are a legitimate top 10 team. They're one of the 10 best teams in the country.
You can make a case that you can go lower than 10. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. But, when it's 10, if you take the top, to me, anybody in the top 10 has a chance to win the whole thing.
Sure.
That's how good Nevada is.
Yeah. Oh, this is an extraordinary team that I'm only betting on if I'm going to get involved in their game.
And Musselman doesn't get out-coached in game. He is a brilliant tactician. And I think he's got an edge over Bobby Hurley as far as that end of things is concerned. No, I'm not. I would take Nebraska or nobody in the game, Nevada or nobody. And I took nobody, as it turned out, because it was pretty close to my number, and I just didn't feel comfortable laying that many points.
No argument there, although the markets are moving towards Arizona State.
They can have him. Yeah. No, I'm serious. I mean, if the Sun Devils get him, they get him. But this Nevada team, I'm with you. I'm just
one-way team.
Yep, pass or play, and so I passed. Aaron Kesler joins us right now, and real quick, Aaron, we're just talking about before we get into the football, talking about this UNR squad. What's your perception of them? Are they legitimately a team that could win the whole thing?
They're a really tough team, but UNR doesn't play a whole lot of defense. If you look at their adjusted numbers, the defensive numbers are not good. Offensively, they can play with anybody, but I just don't trust them on the back half of the court right now. And at the low price you're getting on the futures, I'm in no great hurry to back them.
No, what are they right now?
We've got them at 10-1, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.